Hey folks, it's Jeremy again with ExcellenceInElderCare.com. Today we're going to be discussing long-term care, and I've simplified it into a couple of short videos. And today is part one, and I'm just going to be explaining to you what long-term care is and when it takes effect and those very, very, very basic things of long-term care. Oftentimes when someone hears long-term care, they think of a nursing home. They kind of develop a sort of tunnel vision, and due to some inherent fear of nursing homes, they close off their ears to the possibilities that lay before them. Don't be the type of caregiver that limits your choices. When you do that, you'll only cause undue stress on your health, your productivity, and your own finances down the road. You know, it's estimated that family caregivers may spend as much as $500,000 over the entire course of their retirement just to care for an elderly family member. Okay, so it's very important that you make the right decision in long-term care. What is long-term care? Well, while it's true that a nursing home is one form of this type of care system, it is not the be-all and end-all of long-term care. Long-term care is a form of elder care. It's basically a group of services that are provided through multiple channels other than a nursing home. And long-term care is not strictly medical care as some people think. Picture long-term care as an umbrella. Under that umbrella you have, of course, those medical services, but the majority of the services under this umbrella of elder care are in fact non-medical or custodial as they're sometimes referred to. And these types of services may be helping someone just to cook meals or to keep house or to fill their pill dividers. The primary focus of this type of care system is twofold. First, the goal is to help the senior maintain their level of independence where they are right now at the beginning of needing long-term care. The second goal is to help the elder reach their prior level of functioning following a life-changing event. So basically the first goal is to help the senior to live with as little assistance as possible where they are right now after something bad has happened. Okay, and the second goal is to help your loved one to get to where they were before something bad happened. Where they were before something bad happened. As much as is possible. Sometimes it's possible and sometimes it's not. And that's why I say that the goal of long-term care is twofold. This is a care system that takes over following an acute event in the elderly. And an acute event is some incident that happens suddenly and causes the elderly person to have a sharp decline in their ability to function independently. And this decline may be caused by multiple factors. A few examples of an acute event might be a sudden onset of confusion due to an infection, which is a very, very, very common finding in the elderly. Another might be a traumatic fall with a broken hip, and then your loved one has to have surgery to repair the hip. Well, first they need long-term care to be able to function now with a brand new artificial hip. The second goal of long-term care is to get them to be able to function like they were before they had a broken hip. Which, like I said before, it may be possible and it may not. But the goal is to get them to that prior level of functioning. Another incident that might happen might be a stroke where someone just needs speech therapy to be able to swallow correctly again. And another might be a heart attack where someone might need physical therapy and occupational therapy to build up their strength and to be able to condition themselves to be able to live independently again. Basically, any event that causes a person to require hospitalization or a sudden intervention to resolve a problem, that's an acute event. And once the initial intervention has corrected the problem, or has started to correct the problem, something like surgery or medications like antibiotics, well, that's when long-term care takes over to help them reach those previously mentioned goals of maintaining where they are now and getting rehab up to where they were before. The length of service for long-term care is really dependent upon the person and the problem, and a lot of people get messed up right here because they make the assumption that long-term care has to last the rest of my loved one's life. Well, that's just not true. It may mean caring for your elderly loved one for a few weeks, and it may include caring for them for a few years. But it's important not to limit yourself to just a nursing home if your loved one's receiving long-term care out of the hospital, because direct admission into a skilled nursing facility, which is a nursing home, following a hospitalization may actually increase the time that they spend in a nursing home. So if your goal is to get your loved one to where they were before and to get them home and living by themselves again, a nursing home may not be the best option because they may have to stay there even longer. They may have to stay there until they die, because a lot of people decline when they go into a nursing home. But we'll discuss that in another section about where I've simplified long-term care. So I want to see you again in part 2 as we explore the different types of long-term care options available to you and your loved one. And please stop by the website at excellenceineldercare.com to receive more information and sign up for the mailing list. It's free, and I've loaded it with free tips and other resources to help you in your search for the best long-term care option for you and your loved one. Again, this is Jeremy, and I am wishing you the very best in your long-term care experience, and I'll see you in part 2 of Long-Term Care Simplified. Thank you.